Okay, so good afternoon again to our dear tuties. Welcome to our Q1, week 2 of our subject. For our today's session, our topic or our module is about the social institutions, civil society, and local or grassroots level in the community. But beforehand, before we go to our different topics of our today's module, allow me to please tell to you guys and encourage you to watch our tutorial program, tutorial episodes every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 4:40 p.m. At kasama ko nga po dito ay si Tutor A from SDO Nueva Ecija. And I am likewise from SDO Nueva Ecija. For today's start of our discussion, let us have first the review of our previous session. So for the direction, carefully read the following statements. Write T if the statement is correct and F if the sentence is incorrect. Okay, so ready na kaya ang ating mga tuties? Ang ating mga taga-subaybay na learners para sa ating review ng lesson natin for the last week. So question number 1 is, sociologists are concerned about the norms, functions, and planning of social policy of a specific community. So ano kaya guys yung mga magiging sagot ng ating mga dear tuties? Ayan, so as I can see, sabi ni Joshua Mangalino, his answer is T. True. Ayan. Tama ang iyong sagot, Joshua Mangalino. For the question number 2 in the review, economist examines biological, archaeological, linguistic, or socio-cultural traditions in the community. So ano kaya ang sagot ng ating question number 2 for the review of our previous session? Ito kaya ay economist? Ano kaya ang sagot? Okay, so the answer is false. Okay? Third one, the word communist literally means common, public, or shared by all or many. Tama kaya ito? Or false kaya ito? Let us check the answers of our tuties. Ang sabi ni Lex Aris Patricio, hello. Sabi niya ay, it's true. Let us check if it is really true. Okay, so it's true that the word communist is from the Latin word which means common, public, or shared by all or many. Okay, so let's continue doing the review of the previous session. Very excited ang aking kamay para sa pagpindot ng next. So the question is, community dynamics is the process of change and development within communities. Is it true or is it false? Okay, let us check kung ito ba ay true or false. Okay, so it is true. True because, like we have mentioned last week, when we say dynamic, we are referring to the big word change, because when we say change, we are developing in the sense that nagiging develop or maganda ang ating community or ang ating society. Ayan. And the last question is, one of the reasons to study the concept of community is that it aims to enhance your sense of shared identity. Is it true or correct? Tama kaya ito o mali? Okay, so the answer from Angelica Mijares, sabi niya, it is true. Okay, which is correct. Now, let us proceed into our main objectives or the objectives of our subject for today's episode. So at the end of this episode, the tutees should be able to, number one, identify the concept of institution, civil society, and local or grassroots level. The second one, relate the definition of these concepts in real life experiences and recognize the contributions of institution, civil society, and local or grassroots level in the community. So at the end of this episode, our tutees should be able to learn the different things about our subject. Okay, so but beforehand, bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating talakayan, pasalamatan muna natin ang may akda or may-ari ng mga module na ginagamit nating reference sa ating subject, Community Engagement, Solidarity, and Citizenship from DepEd Bataan. Thank you so much po sa patuloy ninyong pagsuporta at pagpapagamit upang maitawid namin ang mga nararapat na itawid na leksyon sa ating mga learners, sa ating mga mag-aaral. Okay? So, again, for the Module 2, the social institutions, civil society, and local or grassroots level in the community, pinagsama po natin dito ang Part 1 at ang Part 2. So we have here the lesson 5, the social institutions in the community. So likewise, we are expecting to discuss here the different institutions that we are encountering in our society. At ang mga ito nga ay ang mga institusyon na nakikita natin sa bawat araw nating pagkilos sa ating komunidad. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating pag-identify ng iba't ibang social institution, we have to first identify or define what is the word social institution. Okay, so according to our slide, as shown in our slide, social institution from Abener and Alipao 2016, it refers to social structures and social mechanisms of social order and cooperation that govern the behavior of its members. It is also a group of social positions connected by social relations performing a social role. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi natin social institution, ito ay istruktura sa ating komunidad na nagiging mechanism para maging maayos, magkaroon ng cooperation na pwedeng mag-govern sa ugali or mga behavior ng mga member na nandito sa komunidad or nasa isang society. Aside from that, it is also a group of social positions. Maaari itong isang institusyon or isang structure na merong kinikilalang leader, na merong kinikilalang ama, na merong kinikilalang mga officers na nandito para magkaroon ng kanya-kanyang role. So halimbawa, ikaw ay isang barangay captain, your position is a barangay captain, and you are connected in the society because you are barangay captain and you hold the society where you are belonging to. And because of that, since you are the barangay captain, you will perform your role as barangay captain. You will be the head now of your barangay. Okay? Now, let's proceed in the different characteristics of social institution. So ano ba yung mga iba't ibang katangian ng social institution? So ano nga ba? Okay, so bago tayo mag-proceed sa iba't ibang karakteristik ng social institution, binabati ko po muna Ang aking principal dito sa Bartolome Sangalang National High School, walang iba kundi si Principal Evelyn S. Reyes, Principal 4, at ang aming Assistant School Principal, walang iba kundi si Ma'am Perla M. Romano. Hello po, good afternoon. And to proceed, one of the characteristics of social institution is that institutions are purposive. Okay. Purposive. That when we say purposive, ito ay ginawa, ang institution ay ginawa para magkaroon ng purpose or magkaroon ng kahulugan. Okay. Or para magkaroon ka ng gawain. To serve. Okay. They are created to serve. Social institution is created to serve. Okay. Secondly, institutions are relatively permanent in content. Na pag sinabi nating permanent in content, ito ay minandate. It is because mandated by law, ibig sabihin, walang sinumang makakaalis unless i-uplift ang law na ito or baguhin ang law na ito or i-revise ang law na ito. Mapapalitan pero hindi siya matatanggal. Halimbawa, permanent in content. If we can still remember or kung natatandaan natin ang Republic Act 7160 or yung tinatawag nating Local Government Code ng Pilipinas in which it created the local government unit. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, this institution or social institution is created because it has the purpose to lead a particular municipality, a particular barangay, and it is permanent in content or in context because it is created and mandated by law. Okay? Third one is that institutions are structured. Okay, pag sinabi natin structured, ito ay nakabalangkas. Okay? It is built or put together, which is organized from lowest up to the highest order. Okay? Or from highest down to the lowest order. Meron tayong tinatawag na hierarchy or hierarchy structure. Pagkakasunod-sunod. Okay, so next, institutions are unified structures. So, since it is a unified structure, kung ikaw ay nagsisilbi bilang ang position mo ay barangay captain, ngayon, ang role mo talaga ay maging isang barangay captain. Ibig sabihin nito, ito yung tinatawag nating meron kayong kanya-kanyang role na ginagampanan. As a barangay captain, you are the father. As a secretary, you keep the notes, you keep the details, you keep the logbook of your barangay. As a treasurer, you keep the budget of your barangay. Okay. Institutions are unified structures. And last but not, of course, the least, institutions are necessarily value-laden. Okay, so all of the institutions, alam natin na meron silang mga tinatawag na Code of Ethics. Code of Ethics in which it serves as guide or moral guideline sa mga nakaposisyon dito sa tinatawag nating institution na ito. So like for example, lagi nating nakikita, public office is a public trust. Is example of values na pag sinabing public office is a public trust, kayo ay pinagkakatiwalaan ng tao na dapat lamang kayo ay huwag gumawa ng mga bagay na ikasisira ng imahe ng inyong institution. Okay? So, those are the characteristics of social institutions. Okay, so I hope you are learning from our discussion. Okay, so let's continue. Functions of social institution. Ano nga ba yung mga ginagawa or nagiging functions ng social institution sa ating komunidad or sa ating society? Kasi una, social institutions simplify social behavior for the individual person. So kasi kapag merong isang humahawak na institution sa atin or humahawak sa atin, nagiging fanis, nagiging maayos, nagiging simple ang pamumuhay ng individual na tao or ng isa't isa. Sapagkat merong isang institution na gumagabay or humahawak sa atin. Okay. Pangalawa, it provides form of social relations and social roles for individual. So dahil may social institution, let's go back to the purpose of our, let's go back in our recent discussion na ang isang institution ay structured. Na bawat tao dito ay merong kanya-kanyang roles or merong gawain na dapat ay gawin. It's unified in structure. Okay? Pangapat, it serves as agencies of coordination and stability for the total culture. Okay. Katulad ng ginagawa po natin sa mga barangay natin, napapanatili natin yung halimbawa sa isang barangay, kung nakagawian natin yung kultura natin ng pagkakaroon ng sinadag. So dahil sinadag in Ilocano, guys, or dear cuties, ay yung kasal kinabukasan pero merong affair ng gabi. Okay? So dahil ito ay nakagawian at merong mga tumitingin na elders or mga taong nakapatnubay sa ating society, patuloy pa rin natin itong napapanatili na pre-preserve ang ating kultura. Okay. Pang-apat, it constitutes control behavior among the members of community. So like what we have mentioned a while back, nagsisilbi siyang pangontrol or nahahawakan niya ang mga members ng society or community dahil merong isang humahawak na institution. Okay, so let's now proceed to the types of social institution in the community. So before that, hello po sa ating mga cuties na palagi ang nakasubaybay. Nakikita ko dyan, ang isa ay si Mr. Enrico. Hello there, Mr. Enrico. And andyan din po nakasubaybay sa ating programa, si Tutor A. Hello, Tutor A. Thank you. You are watching right now. Okay, so types of social institution in the community, we have here, first, we have the family. Oh, ayan. So lahat tayo ay familiar and well-acquainted sa tinatawag nating family. So lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang pamilya. Kung wala man, meron pa rin silang tinatawag na pamilya na kasakasama nila. Okay? So family is the basic unit of the Philippine society. Okay. And the basic agent of socialization. So gaya ng natutunan natin noon, ang pamilya, katulad ng natutunan natin nung tayo nag-aaral sa Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics, family is the basic agent of socialization. And that it says that family is a cradle of everybody's personality. Dahil sa pamilya, dito natin natututunan una. Lahat-lahat dito natin natututunan. Okay? So, it is where the individual develops everything with the members of the family. Ayan. So, kung ano yung nakagisnan natin sa ating pamilya, nakikita natin sa ating pamilya, ito ay nade-develop natin or na-inherit or nagagaya or natutulad natin yung ating behavior. Ayan. So, functions of family. Okay, hello there. Enrico Dulipan, yes po, hello po. Okay. Functions of family here, number 1, the reproduction of the race and rearing of the young. Of course, sa pamilya, dito natin makikita ang paglago ng isang komunidad kasi ang family, sabihin na natin yung mother and father, si ate nagkaroon ng asawa, si kuya nagkaroon ng asawa, nagkaroon ng paglago ng tinatawag nating pamilya. Okay? Nagkaroon ng anak at yung anak nagkaroon ng anak hanggang sa dumami ang pamilya ng isang or bilang ng members ng isang pamilya. Pangalawa, functions of families that cultural transmission or inculturation. Yan. Cultural transmission or inculturation, it's somehow the transmission of our culture from the parents down to the offspring. Pag tinatawag kasi nating inculturation, ito yung halimbawa si nanay, ipinapakita niya sa kanyang mga anak na siya ay nagmamano sa kanyang tatay at nanay. So dahil nakikita ito ng kanyang mga anak, likewise, ginagaya din ito ng kanyang mga anak. So, ibig sabihin, yung kultura ng pagmamano ay naipapasa o naitratransmit niya sa kanyang mga anak. At yun ay yung tinatawag nating inculturation. Ayan. Yung natututo ang isang tao ng kultura na nanggagaling din sa kanilang sariling kultura. Okay? Pangatlo, provides the environment for personality development and the growth of self-concept in relation to others. So, balikan natin doon sa subject nating personality development. So, sa personality development, dito, nalalaman natin ang ating tunay na pagkatao. Nakikita natin kung ano yung ating kagustuhan at kung ano yung ating gusto sa panghinaharap. At sa pamilya, guys, or dear cuties, sa ating mga sumusubaybay, sa pamilya, dito natin nararanasan una kung ano yung gusto natin. Di ba nga, noong tayo ay bata, meron dito, with due respect to our LGBT community, una pa lang, sabi ng nanay, una pa lang nakikita ko na inaagaw niya yung lipstick ko, kinukuha niya yung lipstick ko doon sa aking cabinet. So, ibig sabihin, sa pamilya, si nanay, siya unang nakakita kung ano yung magiging pagkatao or anong magiging ng kanyang anak. Okay? So, it provides the environment for personality development and, of course, the growth of the self-concept of an individual. Okay, so we are done with the first social institution, which is the family. Second is the religion. Okay, so religion, so lahat tayo ay may mga kanya-kanyang relihiyon na pinapaniwalaan. Depende lamang kung ang isang tao ay atheist or walang pinapaniwala ang relihiyon or belief. Okay, so religion is a system of belief and rituals that serves to bind also people together. Bakit sila nababind or bakit sila napagsasama-sama? Dahil pare-parehas sila ng pinapaniwalaang worship or pinapaniwalaan na ritual. So, in our society, sabi doon sa ating karapatan nating magkaroon ng ating sariling relihiyon at walang sinuman, isa ito sa ating mga rights, walang sinuman ang pwedeng kumistyon sa kung ano ang ating pinaniniwalaang relihiyon. Okay? So, ang purpose nito, ano ba yung nakikita nating purpose? Nahawakan ba tayo ng ating religion? Yes, we are binded together because we believe in one belief or in ritual. Okay? Functions of religion, it serves as a means of social control. It preserves and transmits knowledge, skills, spirituality, and cultural values and practices. Okay? So we are done with our religion. So the third is education. Ayan. So sabi ng ating pambansang bayani, ang edukasyon daw ay tinatawag nating nagiging susi para maging maayos ang ating buhay. Education is the key to success, sabi nila. Well, education is somehow, bakit nagiging key to sa ating success? Dahil nagpro-provide ito or pinoprovide tayo ng education ng tinatawag nating learning or pagkatuto. Okay? In which the knowledge, skills, and habits of a group of people are transferred from one generation to the next through the process of teaching, training, or research. Ayan. So, ang edukasyon ay, of course, a form of learning. Dito tayo natututo. Pumapasok tayo sa paaralan para tayo ay maka-acquire ng knowledge. And sa education, ito ay natatransfer from one generation to the next generation. Halimbawa, ako ay teacher ngayon, magre-retire ako or magre-resign ako, yung mga naturuan ko, natuto sa akin, naging teacher din, nagturo din ng kanilang mga estudyante hanggang sa naipasa kung ano yung mga knowledge na itinuro ko sa kanila or skills na naituro sa kanila. Now, napaka-importante ng tinatawag nating education. At ito na nga ay marirealize natin because education has different functions. Okay, so what are those functions of education? Number one, describe the school as first and foremost a social institution. That is an established organization having an identifiable structure and a set of functions meant to preserve and extend social order. Ayan. So, sa education, sa pag-aaral po natin, habang tayo ay nagkakaroon ng degree, halimbawa nagsimula tayo sa kindergarten, nag-elementary, nag-high school, nag-college, habang tayo ay nakaka-acquire ng degree ng ating education, nagkakaroon din tayo ng tinatawag na disiplina. And that somehow is an extension of social order. Okay, di ba nga sabi nila, uy, yung taong yon napaka-edukadong tao. Kumikilos or gumagalaw na isang edukado. Bakit siya tinawag na edukado? Napaka-fine niya, napaka-prim niya, napaka-proper niya. Sapagkat isa sa mga function ng education ay ang mag-extend bilang pang-control sa ating society or maging maayos ang society sapagkat ikaw ay merong kaalaman or knowledge na natutunan. An extension for social order. Okay, so we are done with the third. We are now in the fourth, which is the economics. Okay, so ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating economics? So, syempre, ang economics, sabi natin ay concerned sa mga tinatawag nating production, distribution, and consumptions ng mga goods and services sa ating society. And with that, when we say economics, we are somehow weighing. Kaya nga meron dyan timbangan. Kung nakikita natin dyan sa ating picture, sa ating illustration, bakit may timbangan? Because one of the things or functions of economists is to weigh or make choice how to allocate our different resources. Ayan, tinitimbang niya kung ano yung mga production na kailangan, saan natin i-distribute, sino ang nangangailangan, sino ang magko-consume ng ating mga goods and services. Okay, so thereby, hello to our dear cuties. Hi, Miss Jane Pineda, which is watching right now our episode. Patuloy tayong matuto sa ating mga narinig sa ating programa. Diyan lang kayo, umantabay lang kayo. Okay, functions of economics. Number one function of economic is that economy fulfills society's need for products, services, and an organized system of distribution. So katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, isa sa mga gawain ng ekonomista ay yung iorganisa o timbangin kung ano yung mga pangangailangan, sino ang mga nangangailangan, ano yung mga produkto na dapat ay i-produce at saan ito i-distribute. Organized system of distribution. Pangalawa, the economic system pertains to what, how much, whom to produce, and how to distribute the output. So very well said. Kanina pa po natin natatalakay yung mga functions ng economy. Okay? And the last one is government. Okay. So government is the institution in our society which solves all of the conflicts that are public in nature. And it involves more than a few people. Na pag sinabi natin more than a few people, it involves several people that govern our society or govern our country. Okay, so as you had learned in your understanding culture, society, and politics subject, our government has three branches. Ito yung tinatawag nating executive, legislative, and the other one is the judiciary. Okay, so bilang isang review ulit sa UCSP, pag sinabi nating executive, ito ay ang sangay ng gobyerno na pinamumunuan ng ating presidente, the president itself. At sa madaling sabi or in layman's term, when we say executive, sila yung mga law enforcers, taga-enforce ng tinatawag nating batas. So, pangalawa, we have the branch of government which we are calling as legislative. Okay. From the Latin word legis, nang ibig sabihin ay law, batas. Okay? So, ang mga taong nasa legislative branch of government, those are the people including the senators and the congressman, mga nasa lower house at saka upper house, in which sila yung mga tinatawag nating lawmaker. Okay, tandaan natin na executive, the law enforcers, the legislative, the lawmakers, and the third one is the judiciary. Okay, so sa judiciary naman, these are the persons who decides the constitutionality of our laws. Okay, sila yung naghihimay-himay kung ano yung mga nagawang batas. Sila yung nagpuput into action ng mga batas na na-create natin or na-create ng mga lawmaker. Okay? So they resolve disputes na may kinalaman ang batas. Okay? So executive, legislative, and the judiciary, the three branches of government. And functions of government, of course, sa tatlong branches na yon, nandyan na pinag-isa yung or isinwak na yung mga functions ng government, katulad ng primary function is to protect the basic human rights. May mga batas tayo na nagproprotekta sa ating mga karapatang pantao, karapatan sa ating our right to our liberty, and of course, our right to our own properties. Okay? So, it has a duty to fight poverty and improve the quality of life of its citizens. Kaya nga patuloy pa rin na gumagawa ng mga proyekto ang ating mga senators, ang ating mga congressmen na parte ng ating gobyerno para mai-uplift or maitaas ang kalidad ng buhay ng ating mga citizens or ng komunidad na kung saan ay naroroon tayo. It defends its citizens against internal and external enemies. Okay. Of course, tayo ay pinamumunuan, kung say, defense. Andyan ang ating Armed Forces of the Philippines na sinusuportahan ng ating Philippine National Police na pag nagkaroon ng tinatawag nating chaos or kaguluhan, ang unang dumidepensa or the first line of defense ay ang ating mga Armed Forces of the Philippines na pag hindi naman kaya, nandyan ang ating Philippine National Police at pag hindi na naman kaya, nandyan na ang ating mga reservists. Ayan. Doon po nangyayari, doon po yun po yung purpose kung bakit meron tayong mga ROTC sapagkat sa atin, hindi natin maiiwasan na kapag merong mga enemies na lumalaban or tinutulig sa tayo physically or in anything ay nagsasama-sama para ipagtanggol ang bawat isa. Okay, so those are the 5 social institutions. We have there the family, the religion, education, economics, and the government. So for the lesson 6, down to our lesson 6, we have here the civil society groups in the community. Ayan. So in our lesson 6, let's first define the meaning of civil society. So according to Melegrito et al. In the year of 2016, it is comprised of groups or organizations working in the interest of the citizens, but operating outside of the governmental and for-profit sectors. Okay? So ang civil society ay isang grupo o organisasyon na may nag-work out doon sa mga interest ng citizens sa ating society, which is somehow isa sa mga sangay nito or isa sa mga hawak ng tinatawag nating civil society ay yung mga tinatawag nating NGOs. And later on, we will discuss more about the NGOs or non-governmental organizations. Okay, so saan nga ba humuhugot ang salitang civil society? Saan or ano ang pinaghuhugutan? So the basis of civil society in our country comes from the Filipino concepts of pakikipagkapwa and kapwa. Ayan. So dahil literal na tayong mga Filipino ay sa atin yung values ba nakatatak or naka-innate na sa atin yung pagiging mabuti sa ating kapwa, pagpapakita ng ating sarili sa ating kapwa, pagpapakilala ng tunay na kabaitan sa ating kapwa. Okay, so voluntary assistance or charity connotes for Filipinos an equal status between the provider of assistance and the recipient, or ito yung karaniwan na tinatawag natin sa society, ito yung damayan at pagtutulungan. So dyan humuhugot yung tinatawag nating civil society. Bakit merong civil society organization? Sapagkat innate, natural na sa atin ang makipagkapwa-tao. At of course, napaka-importanting part nito ay yung damay or yung tulong na pwede nating maibigay sa mga nangangailangan sa society. Ayan. So, what else? The Western notion of kawang-gawa may have been introduced to the Philippines by Catholic missionaries. So bukod doon sa pakikipagkapwa-tao, sa damayan at pakikipagtulungan, natural na sa atin yung nai-inculcate sa atin yung tinatawag nating pakikipagkawang-gawa. Ayan. So, bukod dyan sa mga na-inherit natin na gawain mula sa ating mga ninuno, mga Pilipinong ninuno, ay merong basihan, legal basis ang ating civil society. So, that's from, according to our 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 3, Social Justice and Human Rights, Section 15. The state shall respect the role of independent people's organization to enable the people to pursue and protect within the democratic framework their legitimate and collective interests and aspirations through peaceful and lawful means. So, that is why we have civil society organization in our country. Kasi ito ay sabi sa batas na merong karapatan ang mga independent na organization para tumulong, protektahan ang mga taong nangangailangan ng kanilang tulong. Take note, through peaceful and lawful means. Ayan. So, we have here the legal civic society group or organization in the Philippines. We have the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ayan, si SEC, sila yung isa sa mga gawain nito ay ang mag-maintain ng company register, yung register ng mga kumpanya. It serves as regulatory agency na in charge sa mga corporations at sa mga market participants. SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. And DSWD na palagi nating nakikita, napakaraming proyekto sa ating society na tumutulong o nag-aangat, nag-uplift ng buhay or kalidad ng buhay ng ating kapwa. So ang ginagawa nila, of course, they protect social welfare and rights of Filipinos. And the other one, the last but not the least, legal social group or civic society group is the DOLE or the Department of Labor and Employment. So ano naman po yung ginagawa ni DOLE? Si DOLE ay tumitingin or nagsusure, nagpo-formulate ng policies ng mga batas na pwedeng mag-implement ng programa para magkaroon ng trabaho ang mga citizens na tinatawag nating walang trabaho or meron mang trabaho pero hindi sapat. Ayan, dito. They formulate policies and to implement programs na pwedeng makatulong upang magkaroon ng trabaho ang bawat tao, individual sa isang komunidad. Okay, gaya ng sinabi natin, ang isa sa mga examples ng tinatawag nating civil society in our society is the non-governmental organizations or yung mga NGOs. Ayan. So, ang NGOs, ito yung organization na nagpro-provide ng welfare and development service sa kapwa natin mahihirap. Okay. This is somehow outside government. Pag sinabi natin outside the government, hindi ito hawak ng gobyerno, hindi pinupunduhan ng gobyerno sapagkat from the word non, hindi sakop ng gobyerno, hindi pinupunduhan ng gobyerno, pero ito ay isang organization na tumutulong. Working in public arena. Okay? So characteristics of non-governmental organization, non-profit, legal, and small focused, and usually works with people's organizations. Okay, so tignan natin kung bakit naging legal ang tinatawag nating NGO according to our 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 8 or Article 13. Social Justice and Human Rights, Section 15. So the state shall respect the role of the independent people's organization to enable the people to pursue, protect within the democratic framework their legitimate and collective interests and aspirations through peaceful and lawful means. So, gaya lang in-explain natin kanina, ang basihan ng pagkakaroon ng NGOs ay yung batas na kanina ay ating nabanggit or nahi-discuss. So, meron tayong tinatawag na 4 na uri ng non-governmental organizations. So, meron tayong charitable, mga mapagkawang gawa. Ayan. Meron tayong NGO na ang focus ay sa serbisyo, such as the provision of health, family planning, or education services, katulad ng Red Cross. Ayan. Participatory includes self-help projects wherein local people are involved, particularly in the implementation of projects by contributing cash, tools, land materials, and labor. Katulad ng Sagip Ka Pamilya, that's a participatory NGO. And empowering. So this aims to help people who are considered poor to develop and strengthen their awareness. So those are the 4 types of non-governmental organization. So to continue with, we are done with our topic for today. We are done with our module 2, part 1 and part 2. So let's take a look. Let's check if meron po tayong mga kanya-kanyang natutunan sa ating mga narinig or nai-discuss. Okay? Take a careful look on the pictures and identify the non-governmental organization it represents. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Ayan. So, 1. So, what's the meaning of this? Kapag nakikita niyo yung picture na yan, ano nga ba ang ipinapakita ng picture na yan? Okay, so sabi ng ating isa sa mga tuties, si Jane Pineda, umanswer siya ng service. Tama kaya siya? Oh, so better luck next time, Miss Jane Pineda, our tutie Jane Pineda. Maaring malaman mo, maaring matuto ka pa ng maayos at madagdagan ang iyong knowledge. More on listening and reading. So the correct answer is charitable. Okay, how about this picture? Okay, kapag nakikita niyo yung picture na yan, ano kaya yung kanyang idinidepict? Okay, ano yung pinapakita niya? Anong klase or anong type ng tinatawag nating NGO? Is it charitable, service, participatory, or empowering? Sabi ni Joshua Mangalino, ito daw ay service. Tama kaya siya? Yes, you are correct, Mr. Joshua Mangalino. That's what we call service. Third picture, charitable, service, participatory, or empowering. Okay, hanap tayo na nagko-comment. Okay, according to the comments ng ating mga tuties, ang sabi ni Miss Janine, ito ay empowering. Tama ba? Oh, okay, that's participatory. So, alam natin na nakinig talaga sila pero minsan nai-excite sila na sumagot. Kaya siguro imbis na letter C, letter D yung kanilang napindot sa kanilang mga keyboard. Okay? So, another activity is that supply an appropriate word or phrase to make each statement complete. And write your answer or comment your answer to our comment section. Okay, the basis for civil society in the Philippines comes from the Filipino concept of blank or holistic interaction with others and blank or sa English, shared inner self. Okay, so sa tingin ko ay, ang sagot nito ay Tama ka dyan sa sinagot mo, Miss Angelica Mijares. Ang sagot ay pakikipagkapwa sa number 4 at kapwa sa number 5. Okay, so that ends our session for today. Maraming salamat sapagkat kayo'y nanatiling sumubaybay sa ating episode. For comments and suggestions, you may email us at edtech@deped.gov.ph. Patuloy niyo po kaming subaybayan sa aming mga lessons na ihahandog at patuloy na i-discuss sa inyo. Samahan niyo po kaming itulay ang lahat ng kaalaman sa ngayong pandemya. And before that, patuloy niyo kaming subaybayan every Thursday from 4 to 4:40 p.m. At kasama ko nga po dyan si Tutor A. Okay, so susunod ay ang discipline and ideas in applied social sciences na iti-tutor. Walang iba ni na Tutor G and Tutor Rayo. Hanggang sa muli, dahil kayong lahat ang pinaka-best tuwing Huwebes. Ito ang inyong Tutor Lovable Amor na nagsasabi at nag-iiwan ng katagang walang mahirap. sa batang may pangarap at nagsisikap. Bye!